When it rains heavily, we all look for shelter to protect ourselves from getting wet. But did you know that some ants march into the rain without an umbrella? That's right. Some ant species don't seem to mind the rain at all. And there are even some species that actually enjoy it. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to take a look at what happens to ants after it rains. Number 10. They head for higher ground. When it rains, many ants decide to abandon their underground homes and head for higher ground. This is because when it rains, the soil becomes saturated with water and the ants' nests can become flooded. So instead of staying in their flooded nest, they would rather move to a new location where they can build a new nest. Sometimes this means moving to a location that is far away from their original nest. For example, if you live in an area with red imported pheasants, you may have seen them marching in long lines across the street or through your garden. These ants are most active during the summer months and are often seen foraging for food during the day. However, if there's a heavy rainfall, these ants will often abandon their nests and head for higher ground. They will continue to march until they find a new location where they can establish a new nest. Number 9. They search for food. Ants are scavengers by nature, and when it rains, many people are out and about trying to get home before they get wet. This means that there is a lot of human food available for the ants to scavenge. If you've ever been caught in the rain without an umbrella, you know how frustrating it can be. But for ants, it's just another Tuesday. In fact, some ants seem to enjoy the rain. Take, for example, the army ant, which lives up to its name by marching in massive groups. During the day, these ants forage for food, and when it rains, they're not above raiding other ants' nests. Number 8. They team up with other ants. When it rains, the ground becomes soft and squishy, making it difficult for ants to travel. To get around this problem, some ants will team up with other ants to form a sort of human centipede. By holding onto each other, the ants are able to move through the soft ground more easily. This also makes them less likely to get lost. When it rains, the scent trails that ants use to find their way back to their nest can become washed away. However, if the ants are marching together in a group, they are less likely to get lost. Number 7. They play in the rain. Yes, that's right. Some ants actually seem to enjoy playing in the rain. Take, for example, the leafcutter ant. When it rains, these ants will often come out of their nests and start running round in the water. They seem to be having so much fun. You may be wondering why on earth these ants would want to get wet when they could be staying dry in their nest. But for these ants, playing in the rain is a way of life. It's just what they do for fun. Number 6. They build dams. When it rains heavily, some ants will work together to build dams to protect their nests from flooding. For example, the leafcutter ant builds dams by using its body to block the entrance to the nest. This is important because it prevents water from flowing into the nest and potentially drowning the ants. These ants are able to work together and communicate with each other to build dams that are up to 2 feet high. That's no small feat for an ant. The dams that these ants build are impressive feats of engineering. They are able to withstand the force of rushing water and protect their colony from the damaging effects of flooding. Number 5. They fly away. Flying ants are a common sight during and after rainstorms. This is because the rain causes the ants to become airborne. The weight of the water causes the ants to become bloated, and they are no longer able to cling to the ground. As a result, they float away on the wind. Flying ants are typically only seen during the summer months when the weather is warm and humid. The combination of heat and moisture creates the perfect conditions for ants to become airborne. If you see flying ants during a rainstorm, be sure to take cover. Although they are not dangerous, they are certainly a nuisance. Number 4. They climb onto you. We've all been there. You're enjoying a picnic lunch when suddenly a swarm of ants starts crawling all over you. If you live in an area with lots of trees, you may have seen this happen after a rainstorm. That's because when it rains, the ants become dislodged from the tree branches and fall to the ground. They then crawl onto anything that is nearby, including you. The good news is that ants are not dangerous to humans. They are simply looking for a new place to live. So, if you find yourself covered in ants after a rainstorm, just stay calm and brush them off. Number 3. They head for the nearest light source. When it rains, ants will often head for the nearest light source. This is because the rain can wash away the scent trails that ants use to find their way. As a result, they become disoriented and confused and will often seek out a familiar landmark such as a street lamp or a house. Ants are drawn to light for another reason. Light helps them to dry off more quickly. After a rain shower, ants are wet and cold, and they need to get back to their nests as soon as possible to warm up. Light helps them to dry off more quickly so that they can get back to their normal activities. Number 2. They head for the heat. If you live in an area with red imported fire ants, you may have seen them heading for the nearest heat source after a rainstorm. That's because these ants are cold-blooded and need the heat to warm up. Fire ants are native to South America, and their bodies are not used to the cold temperatures. When it rains, these ants will often seek out the nearest heat source, such as a sidewalk or patio. They will stay close to the heat source until they are warm enough to move around more easily. Fire ants are aggressive and will sting if they feel threatened. So be careful if you find yourself near a group of fire ants that are trying to warm up. Number 1. They die. When it rains, some ants will die. This may sound surprising, but there are several reasons why ants may die when it rains. First, some ants are not equipped to deal with wet conditions. Their bodies are not waterproof, and the rain can cause them to become soaked. Once the ants become wet, they lose their ability to regulate their body temperature and eventually die. Second, the rain can wash away the scent trails that ants use to find their way back to their nest. This means that some ants may get lost and die. Finally, the rain can cause the ants' nests to become flooded. This can drown the ants or make it difficult for them to find food and water. All of these factors can contribute to the death of ants when it rains. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these surprising facts about ants? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. See you next time.